A child who is born fulfills all the conditions for a successful and happy life. The child's character traits are still undefined, and the potential of that child is infinite. Have you ever seen a child born pessimistic? There is no such thing. We are trained to have these ways of thinking. That means we are not only conditioned, but our path in life is already set. In some cases, children are sent to the school that their mother already went to as a child. Often a certain profession is made palatable to us, which is supposed to provide us with a good and secure income. Many children are made to believe in the profession of their parents and are then expected to become a doctor like their father, for example, or to take over the family business. This is a preordained life path in which we are supposed to follow in our parents' footsteps. In their eyes, they just want to protect us and make sure we have a good life in the future. This is the typical parental, protective instinct, and to some extent this is their job. But who is to say that what our parents think and do is actually the right thing to do? We are told as children that we should start a family, that we should buy a house, and that we should strive for a stable, mediocre life. These are little seeds that are consistently planted inside of us and eventually begin to grow. The whole process starts from the time we are born, that is when the first assimilation process is initiated. So as soon as we are born, we are programmed with the opinions of others. This means that relatives, acquaintances, and especially our parents have an enormous influence on the future development of our lives, especially in the first 60 months of existence. Often we heard from these people limiting beliefs such as that money is bad. They say things like, money corrupts character. Rich people are all frauds. Those who aim high will fall low. How many times have you heard this phrase? Or they say things like, if you drive an expensive car, you have something to compensate. Only posers drive such a car, nobody needs a Ferrari. But if nobody needs such a car, why is it produced? These are the opinions about money that your parents have already had implanted in them by their parents and relatives. However, something particularly dramatic happens from the age of 6. Namely, from the age of 6, our destiny is handed over into the hands of educators and teachers. From this point on, we are programmed and indoctrinated by them. Everything we can do today, someone taught us at some point. Walking, talking, reading, writing, and even the beliefs we have today, we have for a reason. These are usually also the beliefs of parents, teachers, and other authority figures. That means what we think is because others at that time already wanted us to think that way. We perform certain actions because those actions are based on certain habits, and those habits are part of a character formed by others. What comes out of our mouths are not our own words and thoughts, but those of generations of people who lived before us, and these thoughts have always been passed on. The big question you should ask yourself now is, who, of all these people who only meant well for you, could really achieve the goals they set for themselves? Who, out of all those people who contributed to your beliefs, were able to achieve their life goals, plans, and dreams? The point of why people don't understand the purpose of money and how to use it properly is simply that we are not being taught this skill in the current school system, and this is by intention. Our school system is not designed to prepare us for a successful life, but to prepare us for an existing infrastructure. In fact, the infrastructure that we are taught is also the infrastructure that the instructors, teachers, and everyone around us operates in. Nobody wants to endanger this infrastructure, and they are trying to prepare us for it. So that means nobody, especially the teachers, are not interested in teaching the students how to build their own infrastructure, because they would logically endanger theirs. So there is a clear conflict of interest. Therefore, our minds are conditioned to follow orders and not to strive for or achieve particular goals. An untrained mind, that is certain, will always create poverty. This means that if you don't nourish your mind properly and feed it with the right content, you will be eternally trapped in the clutches of this conditioning. Therefore, I can only suggest you to train your mind and especially to look for alternative educational opportunities. However, these educational opportunities should not stand in conflict with the existing infrastructure. However, the whole approach only works if you surround yourself with the right people. The human being has evolved to adapt to his environment. The human being mirrors his surroundings. You surely know the well-known saying, "Show me your friends, and I will show you who you are." Exactly this describes the law of the average. We are always the average of the people we surround ourselves with. So if we want to become professional soccer players, we will obviously not get far if we train forever with the local village team. Instead, we should train with the athletes who are already where we want to be. This metaphor can also be applied to any other life situation. So, if you want to pursue a certain income or achieve a certain goal, you need to surround yourself with people who earn those sums or achieve those goals because, as we know, you are the average of those people. So not only will you earn as much as the people you surround yourself with, you will also talk like them, think like them, act like them, and even dress like those people. This is because we humans mirror everything in our environment. I'm going to show you an experiment now. This glass of water that you see here is supposed to represent your brain. This is not so far-fetched, because the human brain consists of 90% water. This glass of water corresponds to a pure brain, with pure, positive thoughts, which can create a successful life. You start as explained before with alternative education methods to train your mind and try to build a successful life and functioning business or to become independent. What is the first thing you will hear? You will hear, "You're not the type." Hundreds of thousands of people have tried it before you. And so on and so forth. This is the typical negative programming from the outside. If I put a drop of aces in here, the brain is poisoned. It's the same with the opinions and thoughts of others. They tell you you're not the type, you're too shy and introverted. Your cousin has tried it too and didn't make it. Have a drink with us again sometime and you'll get back to normal. Only less than 1% of those who start a business make it. Now your brain and your thoughts are poisoned. You are now trying to condition yourself and motivate yourself again. You tell yourself things like, "Just because everyone else says so, doesn't mean it has to be so. I know who I am and that I can do it. My mentor did it too." And so on and so forth. You see what happens. No matter how much you tell yourself, your brain remains poisoned. That means you only have one chance. You have to change your surroundings.